So this is how my team did in game week 1 of the new season. As you can see, I got 34 points, which was bang on the average points for the first week. So I'm going to go through how each player did. So we've got Casper Schmeichel, who only got 2 points. He conceded 2 goals against Sunderland, which I was quite surprised about, but picked up 2 points because of his 3 saves in that game. And another Leicester player again conceded 2 goals, got -1 points for that. Also got a yellow card, Jeff Schlupp. But his assist got me 3 points, which stopped him from getting 0 points in that one, Jeff Schlupp. So on to my next player, and Antonio Valencia. I really messed up on him because I should have had Darmian, who started ahead of him. I picked my team late in July when Valencia was starting pre-season friendlies for United, but since then Darmian has claimed that right back spot for United, which I didn't really know about until the first week of the season when I had Valencia in my team. So Valencia only came on for the last 10 minutes. Not a great week for Valencia at all, and I will think about getting Valencia out of my team. And Cedric, another defender for me that would have scored 0 if it wasn't for his assist, which cancelled out his minus points. So, and if we go back to Cedric, as you can see, he only played the first half. Erwin Koeman, Ronald Koeman's assistant manager and brother, stepped in because Koeman was essentially out injured with a ruptured Achilles. Didn't want to risk him in the second half with his early yellow card. So that was why he only got 3 points, despite being, I'd say, one of the better players in the first half. And Theo Walcott, I thought he should have started against West Ham. I think it would have been a different score had he have played. But he only played 33 minutes, which I was disappointed about. He looked lively when he came on. He looked sharp, so I think he could start for Arsenal in game week 2. Juan Mata only scored 2, no goals or assists for him in the first week, which is poor for Mata's high standards. And again, John Walters didn't score any extra points than he got for simply playing 90 minutes. Stoke, of course, didn't score against Liverpool. Raheem Sterling could have scored in the second half. He had a great chance, which he should have buried, 1-1 with the keeper, but he only got 3 points, coming off for Nasri in the 73rd minute. And I was lucky I captained Rooney. Rooney had his captain, scored double points for his assist, which he should have scored really. When the ball came to him, he decided to take a touch for some unbeknown reason to me, and should have buried it first time rather than taking the touch. But Kyle Walker tried to track back and get the tackle in, but obviously hit the ball in his own net. But Rooney got the assist for that. So Rooney scored actually quite highly by the week's poor standards. Not many players, not many big players, should I say, scored highly at all. Benteke again another big hitter that didn't really perform against Stoke. Never really looked like scoring and only got 2 points for playing the game. And Graziano Pella also scored for me. Picked up 5 points. He could have scored even more points, but Newcastle played very well. I was surprised at how well Newcastle played against Southampton. I had Southampton down to win that game, but Newcastle were well worth their draw in the end. He got his goal in the first half, which I was pleased about. Picked up a yellow right in the last minute, which took his tally down to 5 points. So 34 points for a game week is really poor. I can't remember such a poor game week in playing the game for 7 seasons. 34 points is around about 3 points on average per player. So it's really poor, that is. And I'm going to go on to my league. I'm 13th in my league. So my channel's league is a 29 team league at the moment. It's not too late to join, but you'll be entered in the following week. So I'm 13th, which is round mid-table in the first week. Still a long way to go, of course. It's definitely more of a marathon than a sprint. So this is my team for the second week of the season, and I've brought Shaw in for Valencia. So Luke Shaw is my first transfer of the season. You get one transfer a week, and that's the one I'm using for the first week of the season. So there we go. I've gone for Christian Benteke as my captain. I think he'll score against Bournemouth. I think he'll probably score more points than Rooney away at Villa. I think Walcott could be in the goals against Palace, but I'm not sure about him with him not starting against West Ham. So Benteke, the big Belgian beast, is my main man for game week 2. So this is how my team did in the second week, and this is why I'm doing this feature. This is what it's all about, really. I've hit the mega points this week. I've done much better than average this week, with Juan Mata getting 9 points, Luke Shaw with 7, Chadley with 8, and because I've had to record this video on the Sunday night just after the Chelsea and Man City game, Benteke, my captain Benteke, is still to play on the Monday night. So hopefully he can score big in that one to top off a good week for me. So I'm going to go through each player quickly. And Kasper Schmeichel only got 2 points. Some people think that he should have been red carded, but thankfully he didn't. When he was 1-on-1 with a West Ham striker. Some say hacked him down, but I'm not sure about that one. So he just got 2 points, didn't keep a clean sheet, of course. A great goal from Payet it was. So Yunus Kabul then. I'm starting to regret getting Kabul in my team because Sunderland's defence doesn't look very good, and I thought that he'd strengthen it. I thought he'd add a bit of strength and a bit of pace actually into the back line, but it doesn't look to be. And I think I'll be getting Kabul out my team very soon. So Luke Shaw, 7 points, very good performance from him. Darmian got the same with his yellow card, even though he did get 2 bonus points. So a good performance from Luke Shaw. United beating Villa 1-0, of course. And Cedric Suarez, disappointing display from him. Suarez only getting the 1 points, conceding 3 goals out of nowhere really against Everton. No one really expected Everton to get 3 goals past them. So that was the real big shock of the weekend, I thought. You could say Stoke drawing with Spurs is a shock. Stoke with that terrific second half performance, but I don't think that was very surprising. I think I saw it coming. I thought Stoke would draw that game. So Nasser Shadley is scored at 8 points for me, obviously with his goal, and a bonus point for him. One of the best players for Spurs. So Theo Walcott didn't play a single minute, so Jeffrey Slupp will come on for me as a substitution, who played 90 minutes, and Lights Michael won't score any more than the 2 points he got for playing. So Juan Mata, another big hitter for me this week, and his 9 points was very good. More like the Mata that we have seen in the Premier League. I don't think he played that well against Spurs. Obviously no assist or goal in that game, but I wouldn't be put off. I certainly wasn't by that performance. And his assist and 3 bonus points, maximum bonus points in the game at Villa, is Mata at his best, you could say. So 9 points for Mata, and I kind of wish I captained Juan Mata. Raheem Sterling, 3 points. Scored 3 points against West Brom. Done the same again. Near enough the identical performance to the one against West Brom. Not great in terms of fantasy Premier League points with him. Not really being in the game. Didn't see much of the ball again on that wing, so that's concerning for me. And Rooney, he only had 1 touch inside the area in the whole game. But I think that was more of a reflection on Villa's defending than Rooney having a bad performance. I think he'll do much better next week. And Graziano Pella only got 1 point again with a yellow card in that frustrating 3-0 loss to Everton. And of course Benteke is still to play tomorrow as I'm shooting this video. So at the moment I'm way over the average. I'm on 36 points if you include my sub that's coming on. So it's a very good week. So this is going to be my team to start game week 3, and there's a lot of changes to get through. So as you can see, a lot of changes in my team as I've played my wildcard going into game week 3. Some people might say this is too early to play your wildcard, and I'm sure a lot of you will comment saying this. But I've gone for it because I knew exactly what transfers to do for game week 4, and I thought that I might as well just get them over and done with for game week 3, as I think that I'll gain points from doing so. So I've got Aguero in. Really, after seeing the Chelsea game, I was really impressed with his performance in that one. He looks to be back to his best after the Copa America. So I've worked him in my team, and to do that I've got rid of Walcott, who didn't play a single minute against Crystal Palace, and I've brought in Mahrez. I've also gone Chadley for Payet. I've got Payet in because again looked very good. Not just in the last game week, but against Arsenal as well. So I think we'll see more of him, his good performances in the coming weeks, especially against Bournemouth in game week 3. I've also got Richards in my team, who I did mention at the start of the season, if you saw that video. I've also got I've also got Joe Gomez in, very cheap at 4.6. I've got him for Jeffrey Slupp, I think, and I've got Wes Morgan for Leicester, for Kabul. So that covers my defence. I've kept my goalkeepers the same. I'm happy with the rotation of Stoke and Leicester goalkeepers, and I think they've been good defensively in the first 2 games, so I'm going to stick with that. As I say, I brought Payet in against Bournemouth. I think he'll score a few points, and I've got Yaya Toure for Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling not really showing in the first 2 games. That's why I've been on red alert with him and got Yaya Toure in straight away, who I think is more involved in City's attacking play. Kept Mata obviously with his great performance. Got Mahrez, who is growing in popularity amongst many managers. I've got him in for Jonathan Walters, who is no longer a starting player, with Xherdan Shaqiri coming in for Stoke. I've got Bafétimbi Gomis, who's impressed in his first 2 games of the new season. I've got him in for Christian Benteke, and I did Graziano Pella to Sergio Aguero as my final change, and I've kept Rooney because I think that we'll see him doing a lot better. I think I just think Villa's defence were very good, and I think the same could probably be said for the Spurs defence. And he's got a great record against Newcastle, so I think he could score in that one. I really wanted to get Sergio Aguero in, having seen the Chelsea game. Could have scored 3 or 4 in that one. And I'm going to captain him for Everton away. I genuinely think he's the best player in the Premier League when he's fit. And Gomez against Sunderland, I think he could score in that one, which will make it 3 goals from 3 games. Riyad Mahrez could have 4 goals in 3 games if he scores against Spurs. A very informed player. And the money that I've got in my team. So I've got 1.2 million remaining, and that's because I've got I went for Yaya Toure in the end, who's 1.5 million cheaper than David Silva, and I think that there's not much difference between the 2 players. I think the only real difference in terms of fantasy football is that David Silva tends to make more assists, but I'll take Yaya Toure at 8.5, who is probably a better value option. And that leaves me obviously 1 million left in the bank. A bit premature to do this on a Sunday evening, but I've had to do so with me going on holiday the following morning. So I've shot up from 13th to 5th in this channel's mini league, and you can still join. The code will be in the description below. So GD remains top of the league on Sunday night, obviously with Liverpool still to play. Hopefully Benteke can do the business, and I'll shoot straight up to 1st in the table. So I'm very happy with how I've done in the second week, and I think my team could be even better in game week 3.